Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Damilola Johnson Adesoro. And for the record, I hear voices. Do you hear them? Voices unable to make their choices, silenced before we could commend them. Do you hear them? Voices tied down to the lies that despise the need for their rise. Voices forced to pledge allegiance to a creed that caused their grievance. Voices silenced for centuries, eventually buried underneath for the crime of melanin. I'm talking bitter melancholy. And still they stand not in conviction, rather pretending to show affection, while the dagger of colonization still pierces deep in our veins. The pain of watching young black children looked at with disdain, the pain of seeing what vibrant black women have to go through, the beating, the punching, the mental taunting, just to end up fighting for grains. This pain is what fuels Mother Nature's rage till this very day. And if you listen closely, you hear that rage echo through time, heavy and hollow, tracing the sorrow of 1619, where the sea swallowed hope and washed it unclean. The ocean carried more than skin. It carried stories caged within. The world froze, too proud to seek, and with a crack of a whip, history chose not to speak, but whisper. Then came 1865, where promise was given. Chains vanished from wrists, only to be forged in laws and glances in silence too loud to ignore. 1955, a mother's grief became a mirror. Emmett Till's name struck terror, etched into trembling heart, a photograph that spoke louder than the gun that took his life. In 1963, a dream rose on the steps of marble. Words floating above a crowd that dared to believe, but racism showed even dreams to bleed, and the world watched as hope fell in Memphis. A bullet that took not one life but 1,000 dreams with it. And in 1976, children marched through Soweto streets, books in hand, courage in their feet, defending their clan, but the cries of 12-year-old children forced to face defeat. And in 2020, the earth paused. As one man's breath was stolen in plain sight, all in the name of a broken law. George Floyd's final plea, "I can't breathe," became a pulse of a planet finally starting to speak, and still they walk. The ones who wear hatred like heritage, who sip from the cups filled with the salt of stolen tears. They write laws in ink made of blood, inflict fear, call it order, call it peace, call it anything but what it is. Their hands are only clean because they never touched the truth. Their smiles stretch wide over graves that they built. Their words sound holy, but their hearts rock quietly. These are the architects of destruction, sculptors of pain, gardeners of fear. Every seed they plant grows into chains, into knees or necks, while expecting us to tear steps. These are the ones who build their thrones with the bones of the broken backs of the silence, who look in the mirror, call the reflection superior, forgetting that the same red river runs through us all. These are the ones who turn flesh into profit, color into crime, who turn God to a weapon and death to call it divine. I will not stand for social constructs disguised as lords that have used the color of my skin, terminated sin, and whip me till I do nothing but watch them win. And if you're wondering, this world did not just stumble into racism. It was carved by wicked hands and fed by those who watched it and said nothing. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Damilola Johnson Adesoro. And as of 2026, this time, will there be voices that celebrate their melanin instead of turning into sin? Will they realize that they come from a line of greatness within? Will they understand that where they stand is on top of the table? Darling, you are unable to die because you're living out the dream of a man who foresaw this moment. And when they come to mock you, be proud of your talents. Take away the mentality that you're a rodent. Because as they finally start to see you rise beyond all the attack, they will realize that when you go black, you never go back. Thank you very much.